how shall how to start API testing and which tool is best. So I think we've kind of covered that one. Hina, if you didn't hear the start of the session, that was kind of the first question we answered. So be sure to hop back onto the dojo when the video is uploaded and check it out. And if you don't see an answer there, then please do ping us on the club and we will get you an answer to that one.
So we talked about automation, but we didn't talk about like manual testing tools. So maybe that's where they're going with it.
Please do elaborate.
So the OpenAPI or Swagger, however you have it referred to, for REST APIs, that's a testing application. You can test using that. Postman, Insomnia, DevTools in the browser, Fiddler, like you can send requests and get responses back in Fiddler, Charles Proxy. The command line, you can do curl commands. It just doesn't, that's just not as nicely laid out as like Postman or something like that. SOAP UI, if you're doing SOAP testing, man, there are so many tools out there to do testing.
How would you advise Hina to pick the tool? Because we spoke about languages earlier, and we kind of were like, well, whatever the delivery team is working in, that would probably be a sensible place to start. But what about the tool? Like, how do you pick a tool?
So I think it depends on what the API architecture is. So if it's REST, definitely Postman or Insomnia. If it's SOAP, I would go with SOAP UI. GraphQL, I think Postman is starting to support, but it depends on that. But if you don't know which kind it is, start with Postman and see what happens. Or start with the Swagger. If there's a Swagger, start with that. And you can get a really good feel of making those requests and seeing what the response is, and then you can actually create a collection for Postman from Swagger pretty easily. So
is it worth, because some advice I've seen from folks in the past is pick a tool and achieve some goal, like perform some test, like find some information about the API, and then try and replicate that same request or test with a different tool, and then is that, have you done anything like that? Like, is that worth doing, or is that a kind of a waste of time, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I used to, in my role as an enterprise quality architect, that's something that I did quite a bit, trying out different tools and seeing which we would recommend for the company. So yeah, I mean, if you have time to do proof of concept type stuff like that,
right?
Yeah, I mean, so I have kind of stuck with Postman, but my team also uses Postman, and it's easier to share with them. So again, whatever the team's using is helpful to use. But if you want to introduce a new tool or something, yeah, just do a proof of concept, try it out, see how it compares to the existing one or other ones, and yeah, do that same approach. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool.